So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So today I thought we'd talk about the metal shop because by now we have a pretty good idea of what to expect to come from the metal shop. Obviously we get legends every month, but I've said this before, I recommend to not spend medals on legends in general. Maybe some cheap ones, but expensive ones like 400 and above, I cannot recommend it. These units are on at least one Sugo per month. When you pull on a Super Sugo Fest, these legends will be there. You might be unlucky and not get them, but you will get them eventually. So in general, I recommend not going for them. What I recommend going for instead are limited units in particular. I also talk about some of the potential future permanent additions that we're going to get. But yeah, this basically means that I will be talking about limited rare recruits, some special limited rare recruits, as well as trash map rare recruits. So I'm going to talk about 25 future additions that you should keep an eye out. So let's get into it. And we'll start with limited rare recruits, which is not the most exciting aspect. When these get added, they get added permanently, so you can pick them up whenever you want. And the fact is, we've got most of the best ones added. So these are like the second serving, so to say. But all of these are definitely worth to have in the box. Aquin is probably the best of them, mostly because he's actually useful in PvP. But he's pretty good in PvE as well. He has double special, low CD. He does wave clear. He's one of the best wave clears for treasure map if you care about that. But you can also get the driven ore boost for 2 different stages in normal content. And in PvP, he is basically used, if we read the special, he's an anti-powerhouse unit. So basically he's been used in PvP to basically shut down in teams when they were more popular. We don't see them as much anymore, but good tech option to have in PvP. Other than this, we won't be talking about PvP really. Pedro, been very good for the Morgan ground yards historically, not required anymore. Doesn't have any support, but what you do want is his special. Since you can set defense to 0, you can get a death down conditional, change your adjacent slot. Main issue with him is that you need 5 or more slashes on the crew, but it does have something like Berry Pen as well. Pedro can run the cat support as well. Pretty good unit. I used Weaver the other day. She's still pretty nice, but she does kind of need a level limit break buff. CD reduction, block orb manip, and you can also get 3 turns of chain lock, but not on the stage you use the special. And then the main reason to ever use Weaver is that she has very nice sailor abilities, reducing special bind for the crew and making recovery matching. Finally, we have one of the 2 last rare recruits, basically, 2 of them. The Sabo here reduces special bind by 5 turns and reduces burn as well. Does some good orb manip, and you can get an attack boost for strength and size, so good balance of utility, orb manip, and damage output. Finally, Sengoku, which is probably the unit of these I use the most. He has one big flaw in that he doesn't resist special bind, but he removes special bind, so basically just ignore that he removes special bind. But he does remove bind and attack down at least. He does some good ore manip, and you can get an ore boost for 2 classes. So I use this Sengoku a lot, since Sengoku has a lot of good support to put on him. That's limited rare recruits done. We'll jump into the next category, which is the special limited rare recruits. Main difference between them is that limited rare recruits, in the past they've been on Kisna banners a lot, not anymore. I think they've been on PvP banners as well. Right now they might only be metal shop though. Special rare recruits basically never rerun. Out of these, the only one I know that has rerun is the Corazon and Viola. But other than that, never rerun. So when they drop in metal shop, it's going to be a big opportunity. Perospero is just like the first one is mostly focused on support. Like Perospero is like a legendary support. We got him for the Luffy Sanji debut. can be put on Big Mom and Katakuri, and you just remove 2 turns of death up and damage threshold. This support saw a lot of use back in the day, and I'd still use it a lot. The main reason I try and avoid it is because I know this support has not been available for like over 2 years, so nobody has it basically except for older players like me. He's actually pretty good special as well. Viola has a decent special too, with good utility and color affinity boost, but the main reason you want her is for her support for Sanji, where you can remove 1 turn of Rainbow Shield by hitting perfect. I use this support a lot too. The support I use the most is probably the Corazon though. Global got a bit shafted with this Corazon on JP. He was guaranteed for 2 multis on the rerun. On Global, he was guaranteed for 5 multis. And yeah, I bit the apple or whatever you say and did the 5 multis, but worth it for the bind attack down removal. Honestly, I wish I had a dupe, so if we ever get the rerun, I will buy a dupe just because you can get that 1 turn of attack down, so that's nice sometimes. I guess Law has the Luffy support, the Trash Map Luffy, but you often use Luffy and Law on the same team, so Amphis and Goku, there's really no replacement for that. But great support. Then we have the Bonsai pair. Well, I'm not sure if we call this guy Bonsai Kusan, but there's an Akainu that was released with him called Bonsai Akainu, which is another one of those legendary units that is very good, has never rerun. I know that both Kusan and Akainu has good support as well. I don't have the Akainu myself, probably one of the best units I don't have. So I can only talk about Kusan today, but you should definitely pick up both if the chance ever happens. Kusan's support was very good before, not as good anymore because we got more Admiral support that lets you remove 1 turn of damage reduction. So yeah, not the great anymore, but the special is still really good. Reduces damage threshold, damage reduction, and death up by 5 turns. Not many units do that even to this day. And you can also get a color affinity and a heal, so very solid units. We also have the Blitz Mihawk here. It was the final Blitz with like special rare recruits for them. We got a Shichibukai Mihawk and a Bug and a Boa. I got all of them except for the Boa, which is makes me a bit sad, but it is what it is. This Mihawk is also pretty decent against Ground Morgan. Also has Berry Pen, which is pretty neat from a Mihawk unit. But yeah, you can remove paralysis, you can get a self-proc death down conditional, but you do need to consume some strength decks and quick orbs. You can also reduce the spear I see here, not as many turns of paralysis though. So yeah, pretty good unit. The Bug is not that great, the Boa is pretty decent too. Some more special limited rare recruits. First we have the continuation of the East Blue batch. We got an East Blue batch with like Luffy and the OG5. Then we got a follow-up of that with Chopper and Robin. And then we got a final one with Robin, with Brook and Frankie. I usually call this East Blue as well, just because it started as an East Blue batch and we got new ones. But people always get upset when I say like East Blue Chopper or something like that. So whatever, it's special limited rare recruit, Chopper, Frankie and Robin. All of them are pretty worth getting. Chopper is a special bind remover that can also do block or manip into recovery, which is pretty damn neat. Also does damage reduction and reduces paralysis. Very good units. Frankie does color affinity and some utility. Attack down and paralysis, also reduces resilience. So pretty neat. And Robin can remove barrier, attack down and burn, as well as some death up. So definitely pretty good units. I didn't include Brook because the Brook is actually not that great. He's basically like a version of Halloween Law. Sanji is from our color spread. We got Sora and Sanji rare recruit with these arts. They actually ran right when I started the game, so I actually got both Sanji and Zoro, and they've never rerun since, so pretty lucky by me, because back then I didn't even try to get them, I just happened to get them on a Sugufest. And yeah, he sets recovery at the start of the stage, which is very cool. And then his special is pretty cool too, since he does a damage threshold. And he changes all slots, including block, to quick. It's very rare to have units that give all of one color, which can be cool in some cases. And also does an ore boost for 2 turns, so very unique Chauzu unit. Finally, this Nami has been in the metal shop, and I told people to get her done, but if she ever returns, do get her. She's just one of the best rare recruits overall. Reduces special bind, special reverse, also reduces bind, does some damage, reduces CD, reduces resilience. Like, it's an amazing rare recruit. Finally, we're going to look at some treasure map rare recruits, and there are more I didn't include, so don't see this as the perfect list. First, we have some more recent ones. These are basically before every new treasure map rare recruit started to get added to future Sugos. And yeah, some of these are like the best treasure map rare recruits too, so it's a big shame. This Luffy is amazing. Like, he's a decent unit too. Can reduce bind and give color affinity. But the main reason you want him is his support. Can only be put on Kid. And if you use his special, you reduce bind paralysis to spare by 2 turns. Godlike support. Like, this support alone makes every Kid unit one step better since it has this option. Hyogoro, same batch as Luffy, also amazing. Also decent unit with utility and an ore boost. But the support is what you want, can only be put on Luffy. And lets you reduce attack down by 2 turns and damage threshold by 2 turns. Like, threshold, I think the Ace support also removes it, or maybe not. But at least for attack down, this is the only option Luffy has to remove attack down with a support. So yeah, you really want this Hyogoro if he reruns. Then we have the Chopper Otama. They are also same batch. Chopper not as important, but pretty nice. He has a better special than Otama at least. I've used this Chopper special a few times. Resilience reduction, damage reduction, well, rainbow shield reduction I should say. And you also get a color affinity boost. Support can be put on any decks and gives you a free color affinity when you use the special. There's also a treasure map rare recruit Raizo that gives you color affinity for decks, but that's just for final stage. This boost you can get any turn you want, so it's pretty nice to have both actually. Tama, maybe the GOAT treasure map rare recruit. She's amazing. Special is okay. Bind reduction, barrier reduction, ore block, ore boost. Pretty cool combination. But the support is what you want. Only for Luffy and Big Mom. If you get binded, you remove it by 2 turns and you get a free ore block. Absolutely amazing. Like, mainly for Big Mom, because this is the only one Big Mom has really. Maybe Pudding nowadays, but that's just 1 turn. But the ore block is also super clutch. I've used this on Luffy many times, and as you know, Luffy has other options to remove bind, but free ore block as well as remove bind, too good. Finally, I put Yonji as a filler since it's also a bit support focused. We had a radio treasure map, and every single treasure map recruit were her brothers, and they have a support to help raid you. So yeah, the special is whatever, it's not good specials. But the support is what you want. I only got 1 of them. And like this guy, let's raid you remove damage threshold. I think another one of the brothers lets you remove rainbow shield when hitting perfects. And then there's 1 more that I don't remember. But yeah, I really want them to return so I can get them for their supports. Finally, a few more treasure map recruits. We have first the Hachinosu treasure map recruit batch. This is from V3 Blackbeard debut month, and we also got Legend Moria. And this Fun Ogre is just amazing. Like, the special is also really good. You remove paralysis, lock orbs, you get damage reduction, and you get a self-proc death down conditional if you run a mono-driven team. But what you really want is his support. Can be given to many Blackbeard pirates, and you remove 2 turns of paralysis. This support is infamous for being required for one of the best teams against Grand Voyage Stone Creek. So yeah, if this ever releases, a lot of more people are going to be able to beat that Grand Voyage. Moving on from same batch, we have Lafitte. He has a very good special. I've used him quite a lot as a unit. Bind attack down removal and gives a color affinity boost. And then you can run something like maybe Legend Buggy to get an attack boost, and Lafitte can do a lot of damage. I've in particular used him a lot to meme against Arena, what's it called? Arena Wolf. But the support is what you want, can be given to any driven unit. And it's like the shopper, when you use the special you get a color affinity boost, but it's for driven. Yeah, this is basically the only one. Well, driven has more support, like Moria for example, to get the color affinity boost, but that's just final stage. Here you can get extra damage anytime, and any driven unit can do it. Very helpful since mono-driven teams are very easy to build in general. They have a lot of good units. Moving on, we have another same batch. This was from Ace vs Akainu debut month. We also got another rare recruit. I don't remember who right now, but these are the most valuable to own at least. Kizaru, decent special actually. HP cuts, you can use support like Smoke for example. Remove paralysis burn by 5 turns. And yeah, not Smoker because it doesn't attack boost, but there are other supports you can put. But the support is what you want, can be put on the other admirals. And it's one of the few supports that reduce burn, so they can be pretty clutch, even if I've not ended up having to use it myself. A special support I used a lot though is the Onigumo. This is so good. His special is whatever. I've never used him, but his support can be put on all of the 3 OG admirals and free 2-turn spear removal. Like, this is basically this is a support that makes you encourage you to use the admiral. So I've used all of them a lot more just because of this support. It's super clutch. Finally, we have the only very old trash map rare recruit here. We've already got a lot of them, but not this ace. And this is actually a very good ace since, as you will see once the loading is done, he has pretty low CD. And he's able to reduce CD for the top row by 2 turns. And he also reduces attack down and chain lock. So pretty good kit for an ace. And of course ace has a lot of units that supports to put on him. So I've actually ended up using this support a lot. It's mainly good for the guard challenge against the Navy. But I've used it for more content than that. But yeah. That's the end of the video. Let me know if you think I missed something you think should have been on the list, and let me know what unit you look forward to be added to the medal exchange in the future. But yeah, thanks for watching guys. See you next time.